Hello children, good morning to all of you. Today we are going to begin the very first chapter of the flamingo, and that is the last lesson. But before beginning the chapter, I just want to test your previous knowledge as well as your general knowledge. So tell me the chapter which you have read in your 11th standard and which is based on war. Okay, recall it. It is written by Margaminko. Yes, it is the address. So here you found that the story delineates beautifully the agony, anguish, and apathy of the survivors of war. So be ready for our game. Let us see which team will be your winner. And now I am dividing the class into two teams, A and B, and within 1 minute you will have to answer at least 3 points giving on the topic allotted. So the team A topic is aftermaths of the war, and team B the topic is motto or purpose behind the war. So now you will have to describe within 1 minute, so be ready for that. Yes, team A. So the most possible answers are loss of property, loss of lives, and loss of the humanitarian outlook. Yes, now the team B within 1 minute. Yes. So the answers may be to show their supremacy, to rule over the country, and to impose their own rules by demolishing the language, religion, and culture of the enemy. So now we will decide the winner team on the basis of the answers within a time limit. So, here in your first chapter of Flamingo, the last lesson is also related with the war. It is written by Alphonse daudet, and we will see the feelings and reactions of the school children and the public after the war. So let us see first the picture of Alphonse daudet, and here it is. So just see the writer Alphonse daudet. Alphonse daudet was a French novelist and short story writer. He was a patriot and felt grief at France's defeat in the war against Prussia. So let us know something about the author too. So now we will move again towards the notes, and now we will see that the writer felt pain at France's defeat in the war against Prussia. Two districts of France, namely Alsace and Lorraine, passed into Prussian hands. Prussia was a much bigger country comprising Germany, Poland, and Austria. Germany was their official language, so they imposed their language on these districts of France. Now, with the help of the two protagonists, Hamel, a French language teacher, and little French, one of his students, the narrator tells how the war begins and how the war plays a pivotal role in their lives. So before reading the chapter, let us infer the meanings of the words given below. There are 6 words and the meanings. So the very first word is in great dread of, and the meaning is greatly scared of something. Second word is in unison, means all together. Counted on, depend on. A great bustle means noise and confusion. Thumb at the edges means edges made dirty by thumbs. Reproach ourselves with means blame ourselves for something. So while reading the chapter, underline these words wherever they are used, and in this way the words will be clearer. Now the story begins with the movement of little French to the school unwillingly. Why was he going to the school unwillingly? I have given the 4 points, and this question is important. Sometimes it comes in a short question. So just see what are the causes. First one is the participles taught by the teacher was not prepared by him, and teacher will have to ask all these things today in the classroom, so he was worried. Second thing, he was unwilling, so he was moving slowly, but he was late. The third cause was that the day was sunny and pleasant, and the birds were chirping. The day was sunny and pleasant, and the birds were chirping, and he wanted to enjoy the nature. Lastly, the teacher was strict, so he had to go there. There was no other choice. He did not have the courage to stay away, so he hurried on. Now, when he moved towards the school on the way to town hall, he saw the large crowd in front of the notice board, a bulletin board for the news related with the war. He considered it dreadful because all bad news appeared on it. So this question also very important, this part. Sometimes the question comes about the news written on the bulletin board or the purpose of the bulletin board. So you will have to answer in this way. On the way to the town hall, he was interrupted by a blacksmith. He saw that man and he advised him not to be in a hurry. But because French thought he was making fun of him, so he did not slow down. At school, he wanted to enter the school unnoticed amid the hustle and bustle, but he was surprised to see the changed atmosphere. It was totally calm, just like the Sunday morning. And slowly he was entering inside the classroom, but again he found so many changes there too. Students were sitting silently. Teacher did not scold him, rather allowed him to sit. Hamel was in a special suit which he generally used to wear on the special occasion. He saw the old reputed people of the town sitting on the back benches, and everyone was quiet and solemn. So the next point, which is important for you, that is the school and the classroom changes on that day. So they differ. What are the changes in the school and what are the changes in the classroom? They differ, so you will have to keep in your mind and carefully answer when it comes. So now, because Hamel was going to begin the chapter, so now suddenly French came to know about the cause of this. When Hamel announced that it was their last lesson in French, because of the order from Berlin, and the German language will be taught from the next day, Franz realized that he had wasted a lot of time. Now he became more attentive and found everything clear taught by his teacher. He had developed a kind of love to his books and towards his teacher too. He was annoyed on this order too and was criticizing by thinking, will they teach to coup these pigeons too in German? Because why was he thinking so? Because there was total silence and he was able to listen even the sounds of the pigeon which they were making there in the classroom, and he heard that and he got annoyed and thought so. The teacher asked him the rules of participles, but he was confused and stood silent. But Hamel did not scold him. Hamel did not want to blame French for this entirely. He blamed himself for not teaching them on the name of gardening, sometimes holiday for fishing. Hamlet used to declare the holidays whenever he wanted to go outside for fishing, and sometimes he allowed the students to water the plants in the garden. And then he says that parents are also responsible for it. Why? Because parents also used to send the children to do the work in the fields. Hamel now was appreciating the French language by saying it as the most logical and the clearest one. He advised them to stick or to love their language to win freedom in the long run. After the grammar, teacher gave them new copies or notebooks. It is a beautiful, and in a beautiful round hand, he had written France, Alsace, France, Alsace. Everyone started writing. Then there was no sound except the pens. He was listening the sounds of packaging of luggage. Friend, while writing these things, still was listening the sounds, and he was listening the sounds of packaging of the luggage in the house of Am Hamel, which was very near to the school, and the luggage was being packaged because Am Hamel had to vacate the house. He had to leave the school where he had served for 40 years, and he had developed a beautiful garden too. Everything he had to leave only because of the order of the Berlin. Old Hauser, mayor, and so many other people of the village were sitting there to pay honor to Am Hamel for his wonderful services. Suddenly, the church clock struck 12. The Prussians sounded their trumpets. Am Hamel could not speak further. He was overwhelmed with sorrow. He wrote on blackboard in very large letters, Vive la France. He indicated the children with gestures only, to leave the class as the school was over. So the story ends here, and it describes beautifully the feelings of patriotism, the love for the mother tongue, and to get freedom from slavery. But one more thing it describes, and that is the linguistic chauvinism. The meaning of the linguistic chauvinism is the feeling of superiority of one's own language. There are some other words for this chauvinism. You will read later on in a poem, in the last poem of the same book, and that is the Anne Jennifer Steiger. There you will see male chauvinism. So here in the very first chapter, the word is new for you, but just keep in your mind that this is the linguistic chauvinism which is being discussed here in this chapter. Now let us see some more exercises to see the lines clearer. Children, here from this chapter we will see the extract, and the extract will be of 2 marks. There will be 3 short questions of 1 mark, but there is a choice and you will have to attempt only 2. There will be some short questions also. But here, rather than discussing all these things, now let us see the vocabulary exercise, the important lines which might be asked or which should be clear to you. So just see the question. Notice the underlined words in these sentences and tick the option that best explains their meaning. What a thunderclap these words to be. The words were loud and clear, startling and unexpected, pleasant and welcome. Now the right answer is startling and unexpected. Second one is when people are enslaved. As long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they had the key to their prison. It is as if they have the key to the prison as long as they, the 3 choices, do not lose their language, are attached to their language, quickly learn the conqueror's language? The right answer is do not lose their language. The third line is don't go so fast. You will get to a school in plenty of time. You will get to a school. First one is very late. Second, too early. Third, early enough. The right answer is early enough. I never saw him look so tall. Hamel had grown physically taller, seemed very confident, stood on the chair. The answer is seemed very confident. So these are the few lines which are explained here with the help of the MCQs. And now this short question and the other exercise we will do in the next video. So thank you, children.